Today, James is picking between Digging Up the Marrow, Killer Movie, and Apparition. Shuffle them up in case you can read now.
Yeah, that one.
Mommy shouldn't have made a noise. That's a choice. That's the definite choice. Killer Movie it is. And we're back from James's choice of Killer Movie. What'd you think, James? You're giving it back. Alright. This movie is from 2008. Runs about an hour and a half long. And honestly, I'm going to read the back to give you a kind of an idea of what this is about. In the world of reality TV, producer Seton Brookstone is used to handling spoiled celebrities, testy crews, and unexpected setbacks. But no one is prepared when the shooting crew finds itself stranded in the remote northern town of White Plains with a killer on the loose. As past suspicions, betrayals, and secrets are revealed, the nightmare of shooting this reality show becomes all too real for director Jake Tanner and his crew, and has starred Hollywood celebrity Blanca Champion. Now, given that, what did you think the film was going to be about?
They're doing a reality show? That's what I thought.
Yeah. This kind of tries to be meta in the sense that this is a fictional television show about people shooting a reality television show, yet at the same time we're kind of watching the reality television show version of this. I don't know, because interspersed between this crew trying to shoot this reality television show and this killer fictional story that's being placed are interviews like you would see on reality television with people from the crew, people who were in the town, stuff like that. So yeah, it's kind of multifaceted in that regards. Whatever. But it has, oddly enough, this is one of those films where it actually has a lot of people involved in the film who either prior to had done something of note or afterwards had done something of note. It also has a lot of people who didn't do anything before or after. But first off, it's written and directed by Jeff Fisher. Jeff Fisher which is really, really weird.
Where are you going?
You getting down? What are you doing? You going to Mommy?
Sit with Mom.
Jeff Fisher has, for his resume, both before this film and after this film, a slew of directing reality television. Like, all sorts of different shows. But what I found really, really interesting to note was 5 years after this film, he didn't do anything for 5 years, and then after this, he did another film called Killer Reality. One can only guess what that's going to be about.
That's not a good idea.
What are you doing, buddy? In terms of people involved in the film, you got, we'll say the actor, the townsfolk actors, people who were supposed to be playing themselves. Well, I guess everybody's playing them. Well, I don't know, whatever. Like I said, it's a little meta. So the idea is these reality TV people. James keeps bumping the camera. James, no. The idea is they were hired on to shoot a reality TV show about the hockey team, I guess. And
No. 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 Oh my lord. Okay, say nice. I know, but he is over here.
So the idea behind this seems to be that this camera crew was hired to do a reality TV show about the hockey team, the school's hockey team, the high school hockey team. But the producer seems to be wanting to take the money and make a completely different reality television show about the sordid past and relative killings that have gone on, or deaths, suspicious deaths that have gone on in the town. So that portion is a little muddied because, yes, there is all these killings going on and they're shooting this reality television, but the crew seems to be sticking to the hockey aspect. And I'll bring up why that may be a little bit troublesome in a minute. But the townsfolk, obviously because it's supposed to be about the hockey team, has a star hockey player. And that is Vance Carhart, played by Andy Fisher-Price. Just like the toy. And, of course, if you have star hockey players, you have to have cheerleaders. And though there is kind of a head cheerleader, they more focus on a cheerleader who is obsessed with the star that they've brought in. And that's Erin Gorman, played by Maitland McConnell, who, oddly enough, went on to be in Ninja Cheerleaders, Detention, Curse of Chucky, and Killer Reality. Yeah. Then there's, I guess, the coach, which is Coach Carhart, and that's played by Stephen Polinsky, who really hasn't done anything prior or after. In terms of the crew, which is the main cast of this film, we've got, the agent, Seton Brookstone, which I mentioned in, the description off the back, is only in the interview segments that are cut in there. They talk to him on the phone, but you never see him talking back to them on the phone. It just sort of, they talk on the phone and yell and blah, 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 and leave messages, and then it cuts to him in an interview, and, you know, he has excuses like, I never answer the phone. They usually deal with this stuff by themselves, and it all works out before I have to do anything. But that is played by Nestor Carbonell, who's best known for his role of Batmanuel from The Tick Show, and Richard Alpert from Lost. Before that, he then went on to be the mayor in the Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises movies, before becoming Alex Romero in Bates Motel. The sort of antagonist of the film is the producer, as many people called her, the CUNT, the biatch. She's called many, many bad things in this film. Producer Lee Tyson, played by Sia Batten. And she's had a couple of roles in some Star Trek shows, one-off here and there episodes, but she's probably best known to genre fans for being Alex in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning. There's also the sound guy, because you have to have a sound guy. You know, the guy with the mic, the boom. Yeah, it's sound guy Mike. Haha, play on words. Yes, I get it. And that's played by Jason London, who, for me, the face is most recognized because 20 years earlier, he had played Pink in Dazed and Confused. And if you're a fan of Dazed and Confused, you know exactly who I'm talking about. If you aren't and you're more into genre stuff, he did a bunch of low-budget things like Alien Cargo, The Terror Experiment, and Monster Wolf. But genre fans are probably going to most likely know him for his roles in Rage, Carrie 2, Dracula 2 Ascension, Dracula 3 Legacy, The Prophecy Uprising, or Prophecy Forsaken. So several franchises he ended up going into the direct-to-video stuff. The director of this particular TV show is a man named Jake Tanner, who was played by Paul Wesley. Prior to this, he had been in a television show called Wolf Lake. But after it, his mainstay and what people will probably recognize him from is The Vampire Diaries. He's a main character in that. Yeah. Then we have the star actor, the person brought in, known as Blanca Champion, played by Kaylee Cuoco, who is known for
The Big Bang Theory.
Yes, and probably the reason why we watched this movie. Because Leslie really likes that show, so she definitely would have recognized the name. Now, remember when I said I'd touch back on the whole casting and doing the reality television show on the hockey team? So they've brought in a star actor who's female, not on the hockey team. I don't know what she's supposed to be doing there, except for causing trouble and essentially hitting on all the hockey players. I get it, the producer brought her in, and I'm guessing she's supposed to be for the murder sequences or killer sequences or suspicious death stuff. But when the crew is just shooting stuff about the hockey team and the reality television show of the hockey team, when is this killer stuff going to be done? I don't know. Other people are the character of Phoebe Hilldale, played by Tori DeWitt, who was in I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer previously to this, then went on to be in The Right, The Vampire Diaries, Pretty Little Liars, and then ended up being Natalie Manning. This is where she's making her money, in Chicago PD, Chicago Fire, and then finally Chicago Med. There's also Luke, played by Al Santos, who was in Jeepers Creepers 2, Mustang Sally, Lost Signal, Speed Demons, and Vampire Riders. Daphne, played by Adriana Democrat. Didn't see anything of note on her resume. Greg, played by Hal B. Klein. Again, nothing much that I could find. And Nick, played by Robert Buckley, who was in When a Killer Calls, Petrified, and then a bunch of television shows like Fashion House, American Heiress, and Lipstick Jungle. Finally, other people of note is Coach Hansen, who is the coach who was in prison for killing his wife and mysterious deaths and stuff like that. Who also plays kind of a crazy guy. You know, the doomsayer, you're gonna die, right? And that's played by Bruce Bone, who was in Fargo, Patch Adams, and the Dawn of the Dead remake before this film. Then, apparently, his career tanked because he played a bit part in Man of Steel, I Am Not a Serial Killer, and The Nanny after the film. Yeah. But, something, I don't know if you caught this, at the beginning of the film, I don't even know if I'm going to say this name right. Fans will probably kill me. J.C. Chazes or Chazes or Chasses or Chasses. No, is anything that... No?
That sound familiar. I don't know what that is.
Who started off his career with Justin Timberlake on the Mickey Mouse Club, then went on with Justin Timberlake to form a very popular band.
I don't know who that is.
NSYNC. JC of NSYNC.
Yeah, I wouldn't know who they
No?
are. I know who they are, but
I don't know
wouldn't
either. That's why I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
I wouldn't know the individual people. So.
So, yeah, he also has this little part at the beginning, which is funny. I was like, looking at him like, what? I was like, does he have a major role in this film? And then he never shows up anywhere else. And I was like, all right, whatever. But yeah. Leslie, now that I've been talking forever, what are your thoughts? Anything to say?
I thought it was stupid. And I was like starting to watch it and I'm thinking, I don't understand what is going on. Like, what are you doing? She shouldn't be there.
No!
You know, like, they said she was supposed to be, like,
and we're talking about the Cuoco character.
And it's like, what freaking part? Like, they didn't get into that and it's like...
She doesn't do a single thing on camera.
It was just ridiculous. Like, it was okay, but...
I have a feeling she probably knew somebody involved and was put into the film.
I don't know. Like, it should have been more straightforward. Not this, okay, we're here to do this and then we're going to do that. Why not just have them go there because somebody heard that there was stuff going on in this town and let's go investigate this, or, you know?
That's the thing. It's so convoluted in terms of its story and what it's trying to do that I don't quite get it. Like, and I'm not just talking about the film that we're watching, but the film that they're trying to, like, what they're trying to make is also being convoluted. Like, there's so many parts going on at the same time in terms of ideas that I think they should have cut back on one or two of them. Yeah. You know? Like, I don't know.
They were trying to do too many things and it didn't work, and maybe it would have been better if they just, like, straight out, okay, this is what we're doing. Or fine, they're gonna go do this thing on hockey, so start doing that frickin' properly then. And then, you know, if all of a sudden they're like, well, wait a minute, there's this better story, so we're all on board, we've got permission, we're just gonna do this now, forget about the hockey.
Yeah, I don't know. I think if the film itself didn't try to be a reality television show with all these weird interviews, because the interviews literally, all of them are talking about murders. Yet all the footage the camera crew is shooting is about hockey. Mm-hmm. And all the interviews they're shooting are about the hockey. So when do these murder interviews happen? And why are they interviewing the cast of the film crew? Why is the film crew being interviewed and stuff on camera for a reality television show that isn't about them. This is what I don't get. Like, this is what I'm saying. It's so meta, but the meta doesn't work. You can't have the... I can't say why because it'd give away too much, but it doesn't work on multiple levels. Like, I think the Cuoco character shouldn't even been there. Like, there's no reason for it. Well, I don't know. If they're doing a reality television show and it's about the hockey team, then I think what they should have the person who should have been, I guess Cuoco shouldn't have been some star they brought in. She should have been the head cheerleader. If she was the head cheerleader and the head cheerleader was trying to be the star, like trying to butt herself into this reality television show, that would make sense. She would, still be trying to sexy up and trying to get with all the hockey players and stuff. That portion would also make sense. But I don't, because it does, maybe they thought they were doing, all of these misdirections in terms of whoever the killer was. Maybe, I don't know, but they don't really hint towards who the killer may be, other than the crazy doomsayer guy might be the killer. Outside of that, it's like there's no real push towards anybody that I noticed.
And you'd think with all the killing going on that some of it would have been good, but no.
Yeah, it wasn't fantastic, that's for sure. Some of it was humorous. I mean, some of it was okay, but yeah, I don't know.
I didn't expect it to be good, so it's not like I was going into it like, oh, this is gonna be good.
No, but there's potential here. Like, I hate when I'm watching a film and I'm going, why? Like, honestly, like, did you change stuff on the fly while you were making the film, and that's why it ended up like this? Because there's something here. You missed it. You didn't go with it. You went with something else entirely, and it just doesn't really work. It muddles your film up and makes it convoluted, and as a result, it isn't really as good as it could be. It's not to say it's a bad film. It's just not good.
And it's not like that kind of movie. I would expect it to have like all nobodies in it who've never done anything, and then they don't do anything again, basically. So
really, that really is the type of film that it falls under. It falls on the really low budget, direct to video type of an idea. But clearly, some people here put some money behind it. Some people have talent, and they're obviously people who before and after went on to be big, successful names. So. What's up, buddy? So yeah, it's I don't know. It's disappointing. Mm-hmm. I think disappointing is the word for this film. I am disappointed because there's the potential to be good. Like, I don't think there's any potential to be great in this film, but there is potential to be good.
He clicked on the movie. No, we don't need to watch it again.
We're gonna watch the movie again. But yeah, rating, Leslie, rating.
I don't know. It's like 1.5 or 2. I can't
Wardrobe
decide.
sucks. My trailer's not big enough. The house.
Yeah, I can't. See, if it was like nobody that I knew, then I wouldn't have a problem saying 1.5. But it's like.
Well, if you're leaning to 1.5, go with 1.5.
Okay, 1.5. And I feel bad because there's way worse movies out there, but.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a 2.5.
Whoa!
On this film. For the most part, there's good to be had. The problem comes to me with the story and the presentation of the film for the most part, and I can't knock the entire film because of that. The acting is fine. I mean, the deaths are okay. We watched Happy Death Day yesterday, the kills are roughly on the same level. Both films could have really used more gore and kill to amp it up a little bit. But yeah, it's one of those low budget direct to video. Could have been better. Oh well, type of films. No recommend here, and I'm no recommend there. James, recommend? No, that doesn't sound happy at all. So that's 3 no recommends for, where the heck did it go? Killer movie. Yeah, it's too bad. I actually think it was shot in Canada.
Well,
Because I did see, well, they have American flags and stuff in the thing, but they, I did see a Canada flag somewhere.
okay.
I wonder if it says in here where it was shot. Nope, Minneapolis.
Oh.
Minnesota.
I can't put you down.
Yeah, all over Minnesota, so. Which makes sense. They have a lot of hockey there too, so. Anyways, more 31 Days of Horror to come, more pumpkins, more James, I'm sure. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Till next video, take care. Have a good one.